Hi there, I'm Lisa Irving, clinical psychologist and also founder of Virtuosa AI. I'm really excited to show this to you. It's been about a year that we've been developing her, and we're beginning to show people how to use her. And I'm saying her in particular because I have personified Virtuosa to be a female. And I thought, why not? Psychologists are, well, not all female, but predominantly there's a lot of us females in this industry. So I didn't want to call Virtuosa it, even though sometimes I do. So welcome. I want to help you to reduce your cognitive load when you're doing reports, to save some time, and even to increase your income potentially. I work a lot in workers' compensation, so that's what I'm going to be showing you about today. But if I just give you a little sneak glimpse in here, you can see that we actually have lots of different templates. So in workers' compensation, NDIS, we have an ADHD assessment, there's an EMDR session note. I've been doing lots of supervision of people. Some of that is for AHPRA. So this is an AHPRA Supervision Report in particular. There's an Autism Assessment. I've also supervised a few people recently where they've had an AHPRA complaint made against them. So there's a response letter there, which has been really useful for people. Family court and neurodiagnostic assessment, and we're adding more templates all the time. So if workers' comp isn't what you work in, don't be concerned, because there are lots there, and with each of those reports you can do them in next to no time. So here we are. So I've created this case, Miyuki. She is not a real person, but she's based on lots of real people that I've seen. So she's a 36-year-old nurse that works at ED who was assaulted. She's of Japanese background, but she's a local here in Perth, where I'm from, working at a fictitious hospital called Perth Hospital. So we've got some time to go through. In this part 1 video, I'm just going to go through how Virtuosa goes and organises all the information that you've input, which I think is really helpful. So the idea with this is that the better that you get your information, the better that the report is going to be. So firstly, when you first create a file over here, it's in the new client section, and then you add information. Sorry, I've demoed this a few times, so I'm just going to go to the top. You put in the file, so you can see that there's multiple files that I have in relation to Miyuki. You upload those here, and then you can chat to Virtuosa down here. And when we go to the chat function, you can interact with Virtuosa with regard to the information at any time, either in the upload part and the organising of the information, and also later on when you've generated the report. Okay, so the first part of saving your brain and saving time is that what's really wonderful about Virtuosa is you don't have to retype in information. So as long as you've provided it over in the file section, then she will pick up the person's name, their date of birth, in this case their gender, their email address. The Medicare doesn't apply. The insurance details, I've just made up a claim number there. And we don't have a specific address there, but if we did, then it would go there. The next section is with regard to the referral. So as long as we've provided that information, it comes up. In this case, it's Dr. Smith. Dr. Smith has made a diagnosis of PTSD. The referral date is there. And then we have any admin activities. And sometimes I have lots of different things that admin have been doing for me. But in this case, I've just kept it simple, and it's about the insurer approving the sessions. And then with the psychometry, I've uploaded the psychometry. The impact of event scale is there, and also the depression, anxiety and stress scale. And the scores are here. And then she will make an interpretation for the report itself. Okay, and what I would like to tell you as well is for each section, you can see I'm clicking on it. When I click on that, I can then talk to the chat about just that particular rectangle area there. So in this case, it's reported symptoms. So if I wanted to change anything or add it, I can do that through the chat, or I can simply type it in here. So sometimes it's quicker to type it in. Sometimes there might be some interaction that you want to have that helps you with that. The diagnosis is also something that's important to discuss with you. We have made a point of making sure that Virtuosa is not making the diagnosis. She's just picking up the information from the notes and the collateral information that you have. So in this case, if the GP has said PTSD, or I've said it in my notes, or sometimes there's a psychiatrist independent medical evaluation, that will be recorded here. And sometimes if there's multiple people stating different diagnoses, there'll be multiple diagnoses there. You don't have to keep them. You can let her know in the chat what you want to do with that. But from the perspective of it being not a medical device, which the TGA would have to assess, we have made sure, I'll just make this a little bit larger so you can see really well, that it does say clinician's diagnostic impressions, and this is as per the clinician's notes and the collateral information supplied. So we'll come back to that when we're generating the report in part 2 video as well. Now, what else do I want to tell you? I've just got a list here next to the computer. Yeah. One thing I can tell you as well is when I'm on my computer, as I am now, I've got Whisperflow downloaded to my computer. It's not to do with Virtuosa, but I actually enjoy using it for lots of things. So if I'm using Whisperflow, it has to be for non-confidential information that can't be identified. I just press my FN button and then I can add that information. So for example, if I was going to say, let's see, Miyuki's dog's name is Pedro. And this is relevant because her mother used to tell her a story when she was a child about a little dog called Pedro. I don't know, that's sort of silly, but let's just put that in anyway. And then Virtuosa will add that information. Because everything is to do with a not real client, I'm just putting it in with Whisperflow at the moment. One thing to mention as well, if you're using an iPad like I do, I have a scribe. So I could actually write the session notes right into Virtuosa as well. I don't do that at the moment because I'm using my client management software, but we could do that too. And on my iPad as well, because we're not planning to have a scribe for Virtuosa at this stage. There's so many scribe tools out there that are very easy to do the notes with. So we're choosing just to focus and specialise just on this amazing report writing application. So, but on my iPad, I've noticed that I do actually have a microphone that I can just click for, I could use that for Virtuosa as well. So you might have one too. So they're just little mentions. So then we've got general notes, and these are just particular things about Miyuki herself. So she grew up in Kyoto. She moved to Australia to do her university studies. She's been working at Perth Hospital since she graduated, and that's it. Perth Hospital is not actually real, but here we are. Personality traits. She was involved. I decided to make it a bit tricky as well as a case. So she was also in a minor car accident just a few months beforehand, and her social support is somewhat limited. She's one of those people who really focus on her work, and she has her dog, and her mum is back in Japan, and she talks to her on the phone fairly frequently. Now, she has gone and put psychometric test results here again, and I'm not sure why she's repeating it, so we don't really need that. So if you wanted to, you could just delete that. So I'm going to do that here. And that will just take that out there. So you can make changes here. So the uploads don't have to be perfect. There was also an interaction with a supervisor, and I added this on a different demonstration that I did. So you can see that she's added that in that section there. Okay, so the last thing that I want to mention is if you'd like to see more of Virtuosa for yourself, I'd really encourage you to either go to our website and you can apply for a login, so you can have a play by yourself. But I do recommend that you also organise for a meeting with our demonstration person, whose name is Karen, and she can walk you through the steps as well, so that we can also, one thing I forgot to mention is that also if you've got a particular template that you want us to incorporate as part of Virtuosa, you can let us know and we will manually do that for you. So if it's not there, you have lots of options for that, whether you want to share it or not. A lot of people saying they don't want to share it, but if you do share it, it just means that lots of people get to benefit from that as well. Okay, so feel free to send me any questions if you'd like to. I'm on LinkedIn. There is a Facebook page for Virtuosa, and there's also an Instagram page. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can do comments and I'll see them. Okay, hope you've had fun watching that, and I'll see you in part 2.